welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Enemchuku, and joining me in the studio as always, I have with me Ifoma Oji. Good evening, how are you doing?
Good evening, Sharon.
How are you?
I'm there.
As long as you are somewhere.
Yes, I am.
You are there. I like that.
I'm fine.
All right, I like that.
I have to be.
Of course. Now we have three interesting stories. We're starting with the first one. First, a federal high court has stopped UBA from releasing Osun State local government allocations. Is it a legal move? People are asking. And the local governments now are having the back and forth going on currently with UBA stuck in the middle. Who really controls public funds? The state government, the local government, or the court? Now for the second story, we're taking a look at the Nigerian court that declared Professor Pat Utomi's shadow government illegal. Utomi had launched the cabinet to offer policy alternatives to the current administration. Now, the court says it has no legal basis. Is this a threat to democracy or a justified legal decision? Now, these are the stories that we are going to be taking, with one more from the ADC telling the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to, instead of pushing for a UN Security Council seat, they said he should focus on fixing Nigeria's insecurity first. And now we are just having the back and forth between, the opposition party, that's the ADC, and the leading ruling party, that is the APC, and of course the presidency. But we are starting first with the UBA situation. Now, before previously on the show, we talked about the fact that they wrote, that's the Osun State government, wrote a letter to the federal government saying that they suspect, or from the news they have gathered, they want to send the local government allocations to sacked APC local government chairman, which is illegal, and they should work against that. Now, after that, we've now seen the UBA wanted to process or allow these allocations to get to the right or legally recognized local government chairman, and now a court has ordered that they withhold. Now, Ifoma, what's your take generally?
Okay, I just want to provide more background to what you just said, because I think this story emanated from somewhere, and it started since 2022, in October 2022, where the local government chairman and the councillors were elected under APC in Osun State. And when they were elected, it was later after the election that the Federal High Court kind of annulled the election, saying that it was invalid. And then after that, it was more like the federal government sacked those councillors, saying that this thing was invalid, the election was invalid. And then later on, the Court of Appeal on 10th February 2025 reinstated those sacked, the 30 sacked chairman, the councillors and the chairman, saying that their election was valid. I want you to understand the back and forth. Yeah. Now, this particular thing kind of kept on, happening. The PDP was kind of trying to probe into this. And let me equally bring to our notice that a certain amount of money was disbursed into the account of these 30 members of the what's it called?
Local government.
Local government, the councillors. Money was disbursed into the account, and the whole cycle continued. But the thing there was that this money that was disbursed, those people, the councillors, were actually denying that those money were not disbursed into the account. And the PDP ruling party were saying that it was disbursed into their account. That is not supposed to be so. They were now demanding the court to actually halt further disbursement of this account, this money into these people's accounts, because this is more like to them it's more like bizarre and unprecedented, and it's more like the law or the court is saying don't disburse money into these people's accounts, and you're disbursing money into these people's account. And these monies that you're disbursing into the account are money that's supposed to be used for local government projects. And you're giving it to people that are considered sacked. They are no longer in service. So that was just the entire thing that was, you know, scenario that was happening. And if I'm to give my take on this, I feel like at this point, we don't even know who is kind of saying the truth and who is not saying the truth. You could see that there is a fight between who is right, between the courts of appeal, the Federal High Court, the State High Court. So it is more like back and forth. And it is so painful that politics and governance is kind of entangled. We have this entanglement of politics and governance in Nigeria, and the citizens are left in the middle of the torso. Now, this particular Osun State, we already know that they've been having crisis with this ruling party, APC. They have been halting or stalling major allocations for them to carry about their projects, which is quite a sad situation. I don't know the moment whereby they will have to like realize that at the end of the day, is the citizens of that state that this whole thing is landing upon their back. And it's so painful that even since 2022, this matter has not been settled. It keeps going on, and something really have to be done about it.
And we do not know how soon this particular thing will be attended to, because this whole back and forth, like you rightfully said, with the Osun State particularly and their local government allocation has been ongoing for a while now, before even writing a letter asking that they look into the sacked APC local government chairman that they plan to disburse this money into. There was also the issue of the Osun State government complaining of allocation, that they've not been allocated funds, even though other states, a lot of states have come out to testify that their federal government allocations has increased because of the subsidy removal and a whole lot. But it just seems that Osun State cannot relate to that testimony. Now, coming out to say this, you said something about, you know, the battle between the Federal High Court, the Court of Appeal, but you also said you don't know the one that is right or correct. But let's look at this constitutionally. What's the constitutional role of states in local government fund management? Is it supposed to be, do they have a sort of say, a final say when it concerns local government management and how they want to handle their own funds? Or do you think it's right that the federal government, or it's constitutional for the federal government to come and interfere with how it's being run?
Okay, in a layman's understanding, I don't see the federal government having a local standing here. I feel it's something that should be settled within the state. But I could already see the thing that is going on between them. The federal government is more like trying to favor the ruling party, which is APC. So it's more like APC and the federal government are in cahoots.
So they're trying to
suppress the state's, you know, Court of Appeal. Then the state actually have the rights, because I remember when we talked about this particular situation, that this Osun State government, their legal team, they went to court. They reported this to the state court, and I remember that the state court actually kind of halted this, or made a comment that they should not be disbursing money into these people's accounts until they settle who is supposed to be receiving this, and are the sacked councillors supposed to be receiving those monies. You understand? But what I don't understand is the fact that even when the court actually asked or demanded that UBA to stop a kind of disbursing or depositing money into these people's accounts, we are still seeing by news from the Nudge, the employees saying that these 6 months, the 6 months disbursements were actually deposited into the account of these 30 council members. You understand? So right now, the council members, like I said earlier, are saying that they didn't receive any money. Now the PDP ruling party in Osun State are saying that they need a probe into it, that they need the signatures of those set of persons that they allocated those money to, and they need it to be made public. But this thing cannot be going on. It cannot be going on.
Where does UBA come into this whole matter now? And we've seen UBA's involvement now. Do you think that the CBN should step in here?
I don't really know if CBN should step in, but UBA, I believe, is more like the account that these monies have been disbursed into. So they are the ones in charge of disbursing or distributing this money to various distance. So I guess that's their role here.
All right.
Or the reason why they came into the picture.
All right. Now, okay, let's go back to Osun State now and to the civil workers or maybe even contractors that are in Osun currently, and this back and forth has been going on. How do you think this is going to affect negatively or positively the work that is supposed to be going on in Osun State?
It is so painful that this is happening, to be honest, because like I said earlier, projects have been stalled. A lot of things that are supposed to be done, amenities, schools, infrastructure, all of these things are on hold because of this particular allocation. And a situation whereby a lot of states have been, attesting to the fact that they have gotten their own allocation. Osun State is left out this side. So the citizens, how are they supposed to be feeling? Civil society, definitely, this is more like it's a sad situation for them. I don't really know how, should I say, how they are going to get out of it, but it's a sad situation, a situation whereby, you're supposed to have a right to a lot of amenities by the government, and this whole thing back and forth is going on, and you don't even know. You are left in the middle. You don't even know. You don't have access to all those amenities. It's actually a sad situation. And the government keep on, every time I say it here, the government keeps on eroding the trust of these citizens. They keep on, eroding the trust of these people. And it's quite sad that with all the protest, with all the agitation, the government can't even step in and do something about it. I think at this point, the president should actually look into this and see how he can do that. If it is to declare state of emergencies, these are cases. These are cases.
This will be the year of state of emergency.
I think these are cases whereby state of emergencies should be called upon in this state, because it's between APC and PDP.
Struggle for power. Struggle for power. At the end of the day, if you will need the president stepping in, then I think this is where we should be going to and headed to at this point. Now, still talking about the presidency, we are going to look at the situation happening with Professor Utomi's shadow government. Now, I don't know, but I'm just going to ask you, what, in your opinion, right, did you think Utomi broke any law by creating a shadow government?
He didn't actually create the shadow government. He was actually suggesting a shadow government. Now, the UK kind of run a parliamentary system of government whereby the opposition party can actually form a cabinet, and that cabinet will challenge the opposition, the sitting government. So it is being run in UK. So I think the intent of Utomi was not bad, because we can already see. Okay,
so you're saying he has not even created it?
He has not created it. It was just a suggestion.
Oh. Then why are they working on the suggestion and not on the actualization of that suggestion?
I guess maybe it's just a suggestion. Maybe there's a possibility that he was working on it, but according to what I read, I didn't see where he was trying to, bring it into the constitution. But I think the police, the police actually reported the case.
It was the DSS.
The DSS, they reported it to the court and kind of asked the court to step into the case, which the court, did, and demanded that this it should be stopped immediately, that Nigeria does not run that kind of system of government. That is only those people that have been elected into the constitution that have the power to run, that every other person cannot oppose that you have the right, still have the right as a citizen to talk or protest or even critique the government. But trying to form a cabinet or shadow government, you understand, is more like trying to confuse the people on who is ruling. But like I said before, Utomi's intent was not to kind of cause chaos between who is ruling or who is not ruling. It's because of the fact that he has seen the level or the governance in the state or in Nigeria, and it was more like a brilliant idea for him to come up with this for people to see what the current government is doing and what they can offer if being given the opportunity. So I feel it's more like the federal government, I see the federal government, the court trying to silence, you know, this kind of thing, because to me, I think it's actually a good idea.
Now, but you're sounding as though it's not the same Nigeria we're talking about. The same Nigeria that has sent the EFCC against ADC, big political players, because they are in the opposition. The same APC where we are talking about the fact that they are leaning towards one-party system of government in Nigeria. And, you know, for these bodies and for individuals, I don't want to call names, but for activists that we know of who have come out to say one thing or the other about or against the current administration, they would always come out to target as unfounded, unverifiable, offensive, criminal. And this is just people that are saying from their own point of view as their individual, as an individual, and expressing their freedom of speech. Now creating a shadow government in this country. Now, you say it's a suggestion, that he has not actually birthed that suggestion into life. It was just a suggestion. So what do you think this says about the stance of the current administration when it concerns ruling and being in power and control, where they can as much as go this far against a suggestion?
And that's what I said earlier. It's more like you're trying to silence, you know, oppositions. Like we mentioned, Nigeria is kind of moving towards a one-party system of government. So they don't even want to hear anything about opposition or people trying to fight or bring up suggestions. You understand? But I actually want this shadow governance to be tested. I really want it to be tested. The microphone. Because I feel like it will put the ruling, you know, party on their toes. Because it is more like, according to what Part Utomi described, it's more like changing the status quo. What used to be, what the government, once they get, the elected officials, once they get into power, they misappropriate, you know, misappropriate funds. They mishandle funds. Things that, places that they are supposed to, you know, channel this money into, they don't channel it. Rather, they end up, you know, traveling around the world and the rest of them. So if this is being tested, let us see how it feels for people or a different set of persons to truly, you know, lead governance. Let us see how
do you think that the current administration's posture, or do you think that they are accepting or they are open to such type of thing, to such type of criticism?
They are not even anywhere.
Okay, so how will you know?
I wish
it would put them on their toes.
Exactly.
But the thing is that even the people, this present administration, they are not welcoming, they are not open to criticism from either parties or individuals or Nigerian citizens themselves, be it young or old. Now, I don't know if, I don't know what you think or how we can predict Pat Utomi's response, but how do you think he will respond to this?
To
the court, yes.
I feel maybe if he can, I don't think, because constitutionally there's nothing related to that. Nigeria runs a presidential system or a system of government and not like UK.
So do you think he was even trying to be unconstitutional with even suggesting the...
No, he is a citizen. He has a right to his freedom of speech and expression and even opinions, you understand, or ideas. So he has the right. It is left for maybe the court to decide if this is accepted into Nigerian's constitution or not.
And they have made their decision, haven't they? Anyways, we are still going to see how it all unfolds at the end of the day. But we are hoping that going forward, this would not discourage politically young individuals, especially in Nigeria, to come out and speak out and just say their truth generally. Now, we are moving towards the ADC versus the federal government. Now, the ADC has told Tinubu to fix insecurity before wanting or aspiring aspiring for a permanent seat at the UN. Now, I'm just coming to you now straight up. Do you think that currently that the president has the grounds to get a permanent seat at the UN?
He does not have any ground.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. I think what ADC party actually said, their opinion on this particular matter is quite apt. I can't agree more, because I don't see a situation whereby your house will be burning. You'll be seeking for attention or a particular seat in UN or UNSE. And before you even gain a particular seat or a position in this UN seat, you have to make sure that you tidy up your home.
Your home affairs.
You understand? Security is supposed to be tight.
So you're saying insecurity can disqualify us from
Yes, it can. And this, even if they try to open the seats, because I think this seat is only 15 members that are constant members of this UNSE, then the other seats have been rotating. You understand? So even if they are to open it for African countries, we still have countries like South Africa and the rest of other countries to compete for this position. And these are countries that when you talk about, security, they are, they are better compared to Nigeria. So why don't Nigeria take this particular thing, work on our security or operations or agencies in Nigeria, tighten up security? Now, these ADC people, they mentioned the insurgencies happening in Kwara State. Yes, they mentioned Zamfara State. Come on, people are dying day by day. And they equally mentioned this stuff about the Defense Academy, the commissioning and the passing out of Defense Academy officers, about 800 and something, 800 plus, 800. Yes, of them. They were passing out and they were commissioning them. It was more like an opportunity for the president to equally step in to inspire these security officers, to remind them that they are fighting not just for their family, but for the country at large. It's more like you're trying to motivate them into doing more, because to you or to them, you serve as a beacon of hope. They rely on you, so your words goes a long way to encouraging them. And what the president, and they cited that this is actually the second time that he is missing out on this particular commissioning of the Nigerian Defense Academy officers, that he did that in 2024 and he's repeating it again. The president jetted off to commission the Abuja to commission commission the new renovation of the National Arts Gallery or so, when you have people that have been working for you or are ready to serve the country. So I cannot, like I said before, I think what their statement, they are leveraging on that as a party and as an opposition party. I love the fact that they are using this against him. If this will even be more like their strategy, their main strategy for mantra for 2027, I think I'm rooting.
You don't have a problem with that?
Yes, I don't have a problem. Now, so why can't you fix your home before looking for
think that
a seat?
He's prioritizing international reputation over local reforms.
Exactly. He is. Because tell me in the first place why he should send the vice president to go and make that useless speech. It's not like if we are being given a seat that is bad though. It is not bad, but I feel like it's misplaced priority.
No, what if there's a global ambition that this global ambition might benefit Nigeria in some way?
How is it going to benefit Nigeria?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
You think they are going to send their own security personnel to come and die for Nigerians?
Maybe.
Or die for the president? No, at least you need to tighten up security to an extent. Develop the country, focus on infrastructure, focus on schools. See, let me tell you, these countries are seeing what is going on in social media. They are hearing everything. They are seeing the news, even by not just news outlets. They are seeing it from individuals.
There are a lot of reports and statistics and research that has been conducted from international bodies.
So if you are the one, will you give them a seat?
Thank God I'm not the one.
You cannot.
I want, to be honest.
Cannot.
I can't. Now, so what we are saying in essence is that President Tinubu should pause his international pursuits until Nigeria is stable to a certain extent. Whatever benefits he feels that Nigeria might enjoy from all of that, it won't be anything compared to the loss of lives.
Exactly.
You can't tell the over 8 or how many people that were abducted on their way back from their call to bar ceremony that you are going to secure permanent seat at the UN. It really doesn't make sense. Who are you going to explain? Yes, this morning.
Even in the, apart from the money, we were talking about 230 million out of school children, yes, and Amajiris.
Yes, yes.
Why can't he focus on that?
I just think that there's one of the things that is battling this current administration is misplaced priority. Yes. I don't know why it seems as though even though they have what they want to do, their set agenda, their set goals, they didn't align it properly. They are just putting the most important at the least and putting the least at the most important level. But anyways, like we said, we always say on the show, we are going to see how all of this unfolds. But thank you anyways, Ifoma Oji, for joining me as always. Thank you. What a wonderful conversation. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us. We see your likes, your shares, and we encourage you to do more. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms at Active Citizens. Find me on my personal page on Instagram and Facebook at Sharon Nmchuku. And you?
You can find me on Facebook at Ojisofia and on Instagram at Miselex.
All right, till we see you tomorrow, do have a good evening.